Rip and Riff with Jared and Adam. Welcome in to another edition of Rip and Riff here on the Better Sports Network. I'm Adam Bernard, and as always, with me, the guy, Mr. Jared Moore. He's had quite the weekend here, collectible wise, and we're looking forward to ripping open some packs here today on another edition of Rip and Riff. How we doing, Jared?
I was doing fine until I was doing that head bob thing, and now I'm all discombobulated. Getting old sucks. I would recommend against it.
Yeah, the things that, once you hit 40, like we both have, there are things that if you move too quick one way, it's like, well, now I tweak something doing that. Like that, you find yourself thinking that more than you realize. So,
Like I need to lay down and take a nap now.
like,
We're about to do the show, so this is not off to the best start.
no. But that's the importance of staying limber, going for walks, trying to stay in shape, all that stuff. But we'll see. That's probably it's sometimes not easy to do. But anyway, the format here. We bring a few packs of cards, rip them open, talk about whoever comes out. At the end of the show, we crack open a starting lineup. Jared will blindly pick from the four major sports, and we'll see what we open there today. So what do you got for us? What are you cracking open?
All right, so today we're going to do a little baseball. It's the dog days of summer, so we're going to do some modern baseball, a 2023 Top Series 2-pack with the reigning AL MVP, Aaron Judge, on the cover, and a Topps 2022 Chrome pack as well. So we're going to get a little fancy with some of these nice Chrome cards.
Aaron Judge will not be a back-to-back MVP. That is pretty much assured this year.
Nope. 100%. It's a bummer, but it is what it is. And like Ohtani's going to hit like 58 home runs, and he's going to pitch a 3 ERA, and he's going to win it going away. In fact, I think some sports books are already paying out Ohtani MVP.
Yeah, I mean, like who else would you make an argument for? Like who's the number 2 and who's the runner-up to Ohtani this year? I don't even know.
I wouldn't know. I mean, the one thing I will say, it feels like such a loser argument to say that like the time that Aaron Judge missed is the reason why he's the MVP, because you see how bad the Yankees are without him. I mean, and normally that's like a loser argument, but in this case, it's true because the Yankees are just unwatchable without him.
Yeah, they've been pretty atrocious without him.
What do you got today, my friend?
Yeah, so I've got we got a 1997 Series 1 NFL Football Upper Deck Collector's Choice. Nice looking pack there. Troy Aikman on the cover. It says you crashed the game, which is some entry thing, but no purchase necessary. Let's take a look at the back for details here. Nothing sexy here. Never mind.
I will go to 345 Park Avenue, New York, and I will demand Roger Goodell gives me like whatever the promotional thing on that is until security escorts me out of off the premises.
Hey, whatever you got to do for the show, right? I mean, when the headline says deranged man demands 25-year-old, prize from a trading card thing, we could be like, that's our guy. That's him.
Yeah, we did it.
We got the exclusive with them next week.
Doing the show next week from Sing Sing.
Well, I mean, they got to have some internet there, right? That's all we need. And plus,
I don't know. Let's call Doug and ask.
You would have the most unique backdrop out of anybody doing any sort of sports streaming right now. So you'd have that up your alley for sure.
Yeah, the problem will be when I get shanked in the middle of the show.
I mean, I'd imagine the acoustics aren't great in a jail cell, concrete bars. Like you're gonna get a lot of echo there. I don't know. Maybe we don't. Maybe we see if we could get you like a room, like the rooms where you talk to your lawyers. That's where we need to do it from.
Exactly.
But without further ado, I'm going to get us going here with the little football training camps are definitely in full swing. By the time this one gets on, we'll be right in the heart of the preseason, and I'm sure somebody's first or second round pick has gotten hurt by now at some point in fantasy drafts. But yeah, let's open this guy up here. Always like to get that sound of the pack opening. Got these nice microphones. Let's make use of them. And unlike the earlier packs from the 90s, none of these are stuck together. Now, we open up. Nice. Now, I like the look of this card. This is it's got like a late 90s look. It's got like the, kind of like the border and the graphics. It's kind of it's sleek, but it lets the picture stand out. You got Bam Morris there from the used to be on the Ravens and a couple of other teams. I remember him with the Steelers. 6 foot 245. That is not a guy I want to tackle.
Now, put that back up for a second because I want to comment on the Ravens uniforms there. I like the Ravens how they have like the outline with the numbers there with the little black
Like
that
the
they
gold
that
trim there.
yeah, the little trim there that they don't have currently. I'm not a fan of that Ravens logo on the helmet, so I'm glad that they switched away from that fairly early into their tenure in Baltimore.
You mean the bee with wings, basically? That was that
Yeah.
was their initial, that was their debut logo. I mean, and you even got the Jaguars, early day logo in there too. I mean, it's pretty similar to what it is now, but they have the Jaguar on the sleeve. You don't see that one anymore, which I believe that was similar to their original logo. And then the Jaguar Car Company was like, that's a little too close to us. You
A
need to change
little,
that.
little close to home.
A little too close to home. So we start off with a good looking Ravens card there, and then
I
we
like
got
that. How many cards in this pack, by the way?
oh, well, you're right. I did not specify. We've got 12 cards in this pack, so
All right.
we're one deep. And then speaking of nice looking jerseys, the classic Seahawks look there.
Glad to
Playing
see that they're bringing those back, as we mentioned last week on the show.
Michael
I'm not familiar
Sinclair.
with Michael Sinclair, the player, though.
Michael Sinclair was a defensive end. He had his time. He was like he was a guy who would play a lot of snaps for you. He wasn't like a Pro Bowl or anything, but he was definitely starting caliber guy there. So 2 cards in. Let's see what we got next. We spoke about the Jaguars a little while ago. Aaron Beasley, who was a pretty good corner in his day, but they're going against another classic look, the Broncos with that orange crush jersey there. So this is like the end. This is the end of that era for a lot of those jerseys we're talking about.
100%, yeah. And how do you feel about the horizontal cards in general, as opposed to because most cards are like the vertical format, and I think you've shown off 2 now that are horizontal.
Yeah, Bam Morris and Aaron Beasley. Now, if it's a really, really cool shot where it's like, yeah, we that's got to be the card, sure. But if it's like, if there's another picture if it's like they're even, I'd rather go vertical just because, like you said, the bulk of the cards in the pack is going to be vertical. So it's really got to be worth it to be a horizontal shot.
And also, like, if you are going to put them in those sleeves, it it makes it a lot more difficult to actually look at it in the sleeve because now you got to turn the book sideways and it doesn't fit with all the rest of them. So that's one of those things that always kind of bothered me, but
Or if
it
like
has to be a really good
subset,
action shot, I suppose, to do it.
good action shot, or maybe like you can do that in the subsets. Like that would be a good place to maybe use those. But like your standard common card, no. This is we are on a roll with aesthetically pleasing jerseys because I mean that speaks for itself.
The old Bucko Bruce one.
Yes.
I can't see who the player is, but
This is Donnie Abraham. We had 2 cornerbacks in a row. He was a good shutdown corner in his
he
time.
was a good player for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. He was didn't mind having him out in the secondary. So let's get him down. A lot of AFC cards to start, and that trend continues with the old Bengals tight end Tony McGee. See what we got.
That's one team's uniform that hasn't really changed a whole lot since.
And
I mean, the the numbers they use are different, but for the most part, it's still a black jersey with the orange helmet.
I mean, like Mr. Peter Warwick right here. Take a look
Peter
at that.
Warwick, yeah. I mean that's the same look as you had in the late '90s, but it's a similar look to what they have now.
And then they got the Bengal striped pants. Always love that. All right, back to cards here. This is kind of a no-name guy here, but we will flash him up on the screen. And talking about horizontal cards, Greg Hill, former running back for the Chiefs. That's a team that doesn't need to really change their look either. Been pretty much the same throughout time. Let's see here. We got Stanley Pritchett, another running back from this time from the Miami Dolphins. That old Dolphins look where they had a little more orange trim than they do now. Not a great pack in terms of players. Some nice shots.
Yeah, we need a little more star power here. We need a quarterback.
Well, I don't have a quarterback for you, but I do have some star power for you. And this is a great celebratory shot of Michael Irvin.
See, there you go. That's a great card right there. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just a general base card, but obviously he's celebrating a touchdown here. I'm assuming this might be in Philadelphia pre-battery throw, but maybe not.
I'm trying to see what shade of green that is. Is that Jacksonville? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a little teal. But yeah, I mean that is Michael Irvin in a nutshell right there. In the end zone celebrating. That's what he did. He got to the end zone a lot, and he sure as hell had fun celebrating. Good guy. Met him at one of the recent Vegas remotes for BSN. Very nice guy.
There you go.
One thing I didn't mention. This was right around the time that people started to become more aware of counterfeiting cards. So this is when Upper Deck. If you look in that lower corner, they have that little hologramic football there to make it tougher on the counterfeiters.
Is
Which
that a
I
sticker or is that just built into
Oh,
the
that's
card?
built into the card. That is inlaid in there. So that's cool. So that's a nice little picture there. Now, got a couple more cards to go here in this 12 card pack. Looks like we got about 4 cards to go. Let's see here. I got rookie class subset, which, would have been nice if it was anybody but Kevin Lockett, who went to the Chiefs that year in the draft. So kind of a no name, but still a good looking, like that rookie class font on the bottom. That's kind of cool. It's
Yeah,
not
like
Young Guns, but it's cool.
it's not Young Guns, and it's not anything you're going to be able to use to put your kids through college. But
Not a Kevin Lockett card.
no.
And let's see here. So we got two actually from a sub. We got 3 subsets here to go. This one might there's a little bit of like damage on the right, but Orlando Pace, one of the all-time great NFL offensive linemen.
That's a nice card, and it's a bummer that there's a little bit of damage on the
You
card
can see it right
itself.
there. You can see
Yeah,
it on the.
once it actually zooms in a little bit, be able to see. Yeah,
It's a
that's
shame.
a little rough. That's not something that's going to come off either, right? That's just
That's one that you put in the binder as like cool. I have it, but it's not really worth anything. This is part of the Turf Champions Collector's Choice series. It's got a nice little reflective mirror effect there. It's a nice looking card. It really is.
and he's a
Um,
former #1 overall pick in the draft, and you don't really think of offensive linemen too often going #1 overall, but obviously he had the career that justified it. He's a Hall of Famer. I think he's a champion because he was on the Rams team that won in '99, right?
yeah, he was the
Yeah,
anchor of that
so
one. So
yeah,
yeah,
so
so the caption on the back, while redefining the pancake block in 1996, Ohio State's Orlando Pace became the first player in NCAA annals to win the Outland Trophy twice in his career. And the scouting report on him, quote, Orlando is one of those rare linemen who doesn't just take his man out of the play, he takes him out of the game. So that's a pretty strong quote for an offensive lineman there. Put that on his headstone. 2 cards
there
to
you
go
go.
here. Ricky Waters. This is part of the, I guess, Juggernaut series right there. Good looking card.
I like that. That card screams '90s right there. By the
Oh
way,
yeah, absolutely. Let's see what it says here. Well, the Philly offense centered around him since he joined the team in 1995. Ricky Waters has blossomed into one of the game's most productive players. The Eagles, quote, Juggernaut led the NFL in total yards from scrimmage in 96 with the second straight 1,000-yard season. Ricky Waters, Seahawks, Eagles, 49ers. He was great on all 3 stops. In today's world, he would be like a second, third round fantasy pick for sure.
oh, 100%. Yeah, he's a guy you know what you're getting every year.
Now, our final card of the pack also comes from the Turf Champion Series, and I wish the Orlando Pace card was in the shape that this card is in. This is not his first appearance on Rip and Riff. No, because he came out of a starting lineup, and here he is as a Turf Champion, Mr. Vinny Testaverde.
How about that? Oh man, that is a pretty card. Man, Vinny played forever, and this is him with I guess with the Ravens.
Correct. So we started the pack with a Raven. We closed the pack with a Raven. So now Vinny came out as a Jet on the starting lineups here, but I do have a Ravens Testaverde one that's in the pool of starting lineups that could be cracked open later in Rip and Riff. Maybe it's today. Who knows? We'll find out later. But that does it for the Upper
Could
Deck
be.
pack.
It could be. We'll find out in a little bit. But that was a nice little football pack to get us going. I enjoyed that.
It was a slow start, but the pack finished strong.
It finished strong, and we got the quarterback at the end as well.
Yeah, name recognizable guy. Who doesn't love Vinny Testaverde?
All right, so let me start with the Topps Series 2 pack. We're very modern with this. This is this year's line, 14 cards here. Aaron Judge on the cover. I'm going to open this near my mouth, which is always kind of awkward, but that just happens to be where the microphone is with the headset mic. And let's remove that. And we're going to start off here with the Kansas City Royals celebrating a win here in little horizontal
That's a good looking shot.
horizontal format there. Yeah, nice little shot with the Gatorade bath there. Obviously, it's part of a line. This is called the Royal Douse one. Teammates celebrate the win after a 13-5 win. Don't really see any other information on this card other than that, other than teammates celebrate win. And then we have another one similar to that with the San Diego Padres. It appears to be them celebrating during one of their wins in the playoffs last season. Obviously, it wasn't when they beat the Mets. They're wearing their home uniforms there. So I'm going to guess that was probably when they beat the Dodgers.
Sounds about right. Wow, the Mets being in the playoffs, that seems like it was so long ago.
So, I mean, yeah, they have not been the same since. Now they've sold off all their pieces, Verlander and Scherzer, but I mean, they have an owner who's going to spend $350 million on the team, so they're in good hands. They're closer to a World Series than the Yankees are. So looks like we have a couple cards here sticking together, and you know, the first four cards of this pack are all in that vertical format as well. I'm sorry, in the horizontal format as well. So we have Chris Sale from the Boston Red Sox here. I mean,
Okay.
you can kind of see why it's
I mean,
in
with
this
those
one.
arms, you need to go horizontal.
Yeah, 100%. And kind of a shame for him that he just can't stay healthy, but kind of is what it is. Trace Thompson, who was just traded at the trade deadline a few days ago, obviously he's better known as Klay Thompson's brother,
That's
Klay
right.
Thompson, the NBA superstar. But Trace had a really good season last year for the Dodgers, so it's a nice little get, I suppose. Let's see. Now we're gonna go through the rest of these cards. Miami Marlins pitcher Jesus Luzardo, who I've never heard of.
He's not having the best years, but he's a good pitcher. He's supposed to be like a ace or a number two for them for the years to come.
Well, how about that? Maybe that'll be a nice one. We got a rookie card here. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Guy Rosario from the San Diego Padres.
Got
Another
what, the
player I'm not.
camouflage jersey there? That's a good. They do that. I want to say one day a week they do that because it's a big naval base in San Diego.
Yeah, I think they do it on Sundays. So yeah, obviously they're paying tribute to the Navy. So
And
uh,
their longtime play-by-play voice was a World War II veteran whose name escapes me at the moment. I'm
Jerry
trying to
Coleman.
think what? Jerry
Is it
Coleman.
Jerry
Yeah, yeah,
Coleman?
yeah.
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah.
Coleman.
Justin Verlander with the New York Mets, and this looks like the most photoshopped jersey ever. You can kind of tell me, but this looks very much like they just
It,
photoshopped that one on there.
yeah, because it looks like they took like his face, like it was the movie Face Off, and then they found a good Mets pitcher pose, changed the number to 35, and then did like the face off thing right on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna show this to my brother who's a Met fan afterwards, just to see what he thinks about it. Let's see, Nick Gordon from the Minnesota Twins.
There you go. Love that the Twins' new look this year. I like the updated look with the jerseys and stuff. It's sharp.
Yeah, it looks good. Let's see. By the way, I should have mentioned with this pack before I open it, there is a chance for an autograph or a relic card. Probably not going to get it in this one because we only have a handful of cards left, but you never know. Let's see. Charles LeBlanc from the Miami Marlins.
Cool looking shot there.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about those like Cuban style jerseys. I know the ballpark's in the middle of like Little Havana there in Miami on the site of the old Orange Bowl, but so they are like paying tribute obviously to the community, but not really sure how I feel about that look in general.
You know what I do love is Cuban sandwiches, though. I mean, oh, give me one of those right now for lunch.
Yeah, just I always just get it with like no pickles though. I just not a pickles guy. I know you kind of need it for the Cuban, but this is a rookie card by the way. So
Get that in a penny sleeve.
yeah, we could do that. All right, this one's a little different, but I like this. It's kind of got like a little glossy finish to it. I'm gonna show you the back of it first. They call this the All Aces card. It looks like a
That's
trade,
cool. That's a cool
looks like a trading
backside
card.
to that.
Do you want
Cult-
to guess who the pitcher is on the other side of it?
Can I get an AL or an NL?
American League.
Hmm. Is it Shohei Otani?
It is not. It would be awesome if it were Shohei Ohtani, but this would be Kevin Gossman from the
Okay.
Toronto Blue Jays, and a little Ace of Hearts there, a little bit of like a reflector, glossy finish there, but that is a pretty card right there.
Now I'd be curious. Do they have like Ace of Hearts, Ace of Spades, Ace of Diamonds. Like, do they mix those up? Like, I'd be curious if like that if they did it like
I would
that.
think so. Yeah, I would think. I mean, obviously, the term ace with baseball pitchers being an ace, the staff, but I would think that they would probably mix it up a little bit so they're not all just the ace of hearts or whatever.
Yeah, maybe like a 20
All right,
card
just a few
series.
more cards here. Travis d'Arnaud from the Atlanta Braves, who are probably going to win another World Series this year because they're just a juggernaut.
Yeah, they're not to say they're going to cruise through the NL, but it's certainly the path is there for them to get to the World Series pretty easily.
Chad Pinder from the Oakland Athletics. I love the Oakland A uniforms there. I love that green top, the green helmet. I love all that stuff. It's gonna be a shame when they're playing in Vegas in a couple years, and they're probably not the A's, but we'll cross
Yeah,
that bridge when we come to it.
I hope they keep the
Uh,
colors though. Keep the green and yellow. It's sharp. It's not a lot of teams have that color combo. At least keep those colors, if nothing else.
let's see, former top prospect Joe Adell from your Los Angeles Angels.
Shout
Not a
out
rookie.
to uh, shout out to Tyler Heavy T Soto about him and
Yeah,
Edward Rouse as well. Big Angels fans.
I'll put this one in the mail for them. We'll make sure they get that
And
nice and
they'll
secure.
probably burn it, I would imagine, but you never know.
And one last rookie card, Hayden Wisniewski from the Chicago Cubs.
There you go. That's a good action shot there. Mid pitch right before the ball is released. That's a good looking shot.
I like that, and I like getting a third rookie out of this set. And I think he's having a decent year as well. So that is the Series 2 pack. Now let's do the Topps Chrome pack, and then I have a surprise for you before we get to the
Ooh,
starting lineup.
all
So
right.
yeah, this one is just 4 cards, so we're gonna go through this really quickly, but these are gonna be some pretty cards here. And hopefully we actually get a big time player like Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge or someone of that ilk. But not off to the greatest start because we could pull Brian De La Cruz from the Miami Marlins.
Now, not the pull you're looking for, but from a fantasy perspective, has been producing in the outfield this year. So he's been a nice little pickup if you didn't grab him late in your drafts.
And that is a rookie card as well. So we can put that one in the sleeve and protect it. But
All right.
nice little card there. A player who has really struggled this year and who I'm just not a fan of in general with the whole shenanigans last year with Garrett Cole, Alek Manoah from the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, he definitely did not live up to where he was being drafted. Although who knows, maybe his time down in the minors, maybe he'll work his way back and be good to go for next year. But definitely got Burns drafting him this year.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely talented enough to be a lot better than he has been, but uh that's interesting. It said 4 cards on it, but they actually put 5 in here. So
Ooh.
we actually got a bonus. So can't complain about that.
It's like when you go to
Start
Jack in the Box and get curly fries, and they give you a few regular fries. Like you're happy about that.
right. Yeah, exactly. You go to Burger King, you get the onion rings, there's a French fry or 2 in the bottom of the thing.
There you go.
Starling Marte from the New York Mets.
Nice.
Nice little action shot of him catching a pop up or a fly ball or whatever.
Almost looks like he's getting ready to throw it in for a runner that's tagging too. He's kind of got like that position where he's going to like catch and throw.
Yeah, 100%. One-time Yankee bust, but has been good pretty much everywhere else because that's how things work out with the Yankees. Sonny Gray from the Cincinnati Reds.
Sonny Gray, and he's with Minnesota right now, I believe. Or is it, yeah, he's with Minnesota.
Yeah, I
right?
think it's with the Twins now. I should have mentioned this was a 2022 pack. And one of the million players who always destroys the Yankees every time they face them. I'm trying to read this. It's so small here on the card itself. It says Topps All-Star Social, I think. I can't really read it. It's so tiny on the card, but it's Luis Garcia from the Houston Astros.
What was that about getting older earlier in the show, and now you're like, oh, I can't read the font that small?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like I'm hoping this zooms in on it. It's this little cup right here. I'm trying to read it.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's tiny.
and and the fact that like it, I mean, it hasn't
It's
focused
shiny.
yet
That's
on
not
it.
helping you either. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't read that.
yeah, it hasn't focused. It's tiny. I can barely read it. It's kind of a black and white card, which is a nice little something different with that card. But uh, overall, not a bad little set with the Topps Chrome one. Some notable players. You got a rookie. Got a local player with the Mets. Got a player who always destroys the Yankees. Not a bad little pack there. I
I
can't
mean, if
complain
Alek
about
Manoah
that
had
one.
lived up to what people were talking about this year, you might have been really excited about that card. Had he lived up to expectations, you might be like, "Oh boy, here's a good one." But
All right, now I want to cap this off with a surprise for you. So I'm holding two different packs in two different hands from two very different uh, popular media brands, for lack
okay,
of a better term. Very two very popular franchises.
okay.
Are we going to go with what's in my left hand or my right hand?
So last time you gave me the left-right scenario, I went right. So today, let's go left.
I'm glad you went left because we are going to open a pack from 19. I believe this is 1989. No,
Ooh,
1990
okay.
of the Simpsons trading cards.
All right. I see. So you told me you had a few before the show. You gave me a couple, but you didn't give me the full rundown. That was not in the rundown. So I'm very excited and surprised by that one.
Yeah, and you can see on the back. I was struggling with the year, but it actually says on here tops 1990. So 20th Century Fox, all that good stuff. The other one was a pack of Batman cards, which we will open on a later edition of Rip and Riff. So make sure
Very
you stay
nice.
tuned for that.
Nice.
So we'll put that one aside. All right, so nice little pack of Simpsons cards to.
In case you didn't know, Jared and I are both very big Simpsons fans. I've fallen off over recent years, but still remember a lot of those episodes. Truly one of the genius shows on television. That's what, and it's like 30th something season now.
Right, and look, nobody watches The Simpsons now, but in terms of like seasons 1 through 10, 11 or so, I probably know about as much about The Simpsons as anybody on this planet. So this card's a little damaged in the corner. It's the famous chalkboard gag of Bart writing on the chalkboard. I will not do anything bad ever again, with the little slingshot in his back pocket, and then for some reason, on the back of the card is Maggie Simpson.
Oh, it's a double sided. Are they all double sided like that?
Yeah, it looks like it appears they're all double sided. At least from the first one I've seen. All right, so it actually looks like. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these, they're just like the front of it is an image of like the TV screen or so. And then I think the back, it forms like a scene from a specific
Yeah,
episode. And I
yeah. It's like
yeah,
the
so
scene within a scene thing.
right. So it looks like the scene they're forming on the back is from the episode where Bart and Rod Simpson were or maybe it was Todd. I forget which one of the Flanders boys it was with the mini golf.
Yeah, because you could see the golf club right there. Yeah, when they were the two like really gifted ones, and they go head to head in the final.
Yep. Um and
That's a good
then
episode. I might have to throw that one on later.
yeah, it's a classic, and yeah, that appears that's exactly what all these are from because you got the little TV image on the front of it, and then on the back's another thing from the little golf course. So
So each
what I'm
pack
gonna
is like
do
an
is,
episode.
huh?
Each pack is like from a specific episode. Is that
I'm
how
not
it works?
sure. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna After we're done with this, I'm gonna take a picture of like I'll arrange these in the way it's supposed to look, and hopefully it'll actually put out the scene, and I'll take the picture of it. We'll put it over me talking right now in this video, so
The
the
wonders
audience will
of
be able
post
to see it.
production.
Yeah, well, I'm making myself a little bit of extra work because it is what it is. But yeah, same thing. Bart, you're such a nitwit, and then little scene of them at the golf course, and that's basically what all these cards are. So, just going through them all real quick. Actually, this one is not on the back. It's got a little trivia question. Homer's job at the nuclear power plant is what? And then multiple choice questions. So, I guess they designed this for people who didn't really watch the show all that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's got a little trivia question as well. So I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the whole set here. Um, but I'll be able to come pretty close. So I'm going to guess that you buy more of these packs, you'll be able to put the entire picture together. So
Oh, I can't wait to see the finished product from that pack, and then yeah, maybe there's like some sort of like series you need to like put together, and then you'll go nuts buying Simpsons packs.
maybe. But yeah, these are the last two, and then obviously this one being a classic scene, I think from the Tracy Ullman show, with the
Yes.
whole yeah. And
People
then
forget Simpsons had a quite the run on Tracy Ullman before their own show.
right, and then a couple more scenes from that episode there with the miniature golf. And that's it for the Simpsons pack. So I'm not really sure what I was expecting out of it. I was kind of hoping for more like actual characters and like character profiles and whatnot. But you have to remember this pack was from 1990. Season 1 of The Simpsons was 1989. So they probably hadn't come up with a whole lot of the actual side characters and, the Disco Stews and the uh, I think Barney was in season 1, but like some of the random obscure side characters and whatnot, like Professor Frank and like all those guys, they probably didn't even come up with those guys yet.
Yeah, those came along later on, but I mean, nice pack there. Trip down memory lane, and now I'm gonna go watch that episode sometime today. So there you go.
Nice.
Now, before we get to the starting lineup, we are right. College football season's right around the corner, and we're kicking off college football season with the live fantasy draft. The FSGA College Football Fantasy Draft features the top college football analysts drafting the best players for the 2023 season, hosted by the wonderful gentlemen over at the Campus to Canton crew. Pick by pick coverage, strategies, and interviews. I got to pretty much produce and direct this along with my good buddy Anthony Rivera over, also my cohort over at Better Hockey Now. Even if you're not a college football fan or if you're looking to get in, it's an 18-team draft, so you get there's a lot of depth of knowledge there. It's a good way to either if you're an avid college football drafter, to get a look at a deep draft, or if you're somebody new looking to get in, certainly a nice little intro way there. So go over to the Better Sports Network YouTube channel and check it out there. So it's time to get to the starting lineup crack. Now, I opened one up last night before we get to today's. This was actually part of like a giveaway. This is Dave Stewart, was a pitcher with the Oakland A's. He currently does their pre and post game shows over on NBC Sports California. And then one thing that I thought was cool for the giveaway, because one thing about starting lineups is the backs of the boxes are all the same. Whatever it is for that sport, it's across the board. But for this one, they do his career stats and his highlights and all that. So Oakland native. So cool to have that on the back of the box. So glad I found this one on eBay because, like you said, things with Oakland A's on it aren't going to be around too much longer. So wanted to show that one off. Now, the rules for the starting lineup crack. Jared gets to pick between baseball, basketball, football, and hockey, and I open that one up. We show the 3 that he didn't pick, and then we crack the last one. So I will say this. 3 of them are jerseys that are aesthetically pleasing, which is the theme of the show today, and 1 will give you fond memories of a fonder time for a team you follow. So with those as your clues, what would you like to pick?
Well, you teased something interesting with the football earlier, so I kind of want to go in that direction. And obviously, football season's almost upon us, so let's open up a football one.
All right, so we're going to open up a football one here. And before we get to that, we always reveal the 3 that we not pick. Fonder memories. That's 1994 Don Mattingly in the navy blue batting practice jersey there. So if you had picked baseball, that's what we would have cracked today.
Oh, I love that one.
I've got 3 different Don Mattingly, so he will come up pretty often. If you pick baseball, you might get him one of the next couple of times. Basketball. We've got Bryant, Big Country Reeves, with the old Vancouver.
One of the
Grizzlies
great nicknames of all time.
Yeah, and it was that sucks too because it was a great nickname and he never panned out. But you can see the Grizzly on the shorts there. Football. Speaking of aesthetically pleasing, Mr. Ed Belfour is here with the goalie mask with the eagle on it and everything. So that would have been if you had selected hockey.
I'm going to text you a photo of the Simpson cards with them kind of put together so you can kind of see what I'm looking at.
So I saw you putting them together. I want to see it before we reveal the starting lineup that we are doing today. So we'll put it up on the screen. And then, so the winner for today's pick, Seattle Seahawks, classic look, Cortez Kennedy, one of the great defensive tackles of all time, with the classic Seahawks look. Hall of Famer. We talked about the Seahawks look on that Michael Sinclair card. He got to play alongside this guy right here, Cortez Kennedy. So without further ado, I think it's time to crack this bad boy open. Yeah. So here's a close-up of card. A good action shot there. He's looking like he's getting ready to rush the quarterback on a, pass play there. Good-looking shot. just throw the one that's open. We don't care about that box. There we go. Helmet on there. And I mean, for the time, I mean, you look at the helmet. That's good detail. I mean, when it focuses. But
I was going to say, what year was this? I know
that
you just threw
was
the box away.
1990. If it landed on the right side. So 1994.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty good detail for a little starting lineup, or just generally speaking, just action figures back then, because but now everything's done with computers and whatnot. So that's pretty good. Also, hi, Annabelle.
Yes, we're getting ready to wrap things up here because I showed her so she was downstairs watching something while we came up to record this, and I showed her on the clock when the big hen gets to here is when Daddy will be done. And sure enough, she came up when the big hen got to the right time on the clock. Daddy told her. So there's my daughter in the background. Say hi. Yeah, she doesn't really care. She's already looking now. I do have my starting lineup studio audience that I have to introduce. She just took one of the guys away. So let me put that back up for a minute. You can have this one for now. Thank you, Annabelle. Nope, doesn't want it. Today's starting lineup studio audience, of course, Fred McGriff, who was cracked open last week. To his right, we got Barry Sanders and Peter Warwick. That's a shout out to my cat, who often in the background you can see kind of over that shoulder. Reason why I'm shouting her out is he sleeps the whole time, but inevitably for either this or Better Hockey Now, he licks his crotch. So go through all the episodes and you'll find it. So shout out to him for doing that at the wrong time. And then we got Cliff Robinson on the right. My wife's currently on a girls' trip in Portland, so figured may as well get a Trailblazer in the mix. And then on the bottom row in the middle, got to have Gretzky and the Rangers represented, so two birds with one stone. And at the time of this recording, the Penguins and the Sharks made a big significant trade recently. So we have they traded Erik Karlsson in a 3-team deal with Montreal to Pittsburgh. So we have right there, Sandis Ozolinsh, former great San Jose Sharks defenseman, represent Erik Karlsson, and Luc Robitaille in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey to represent the Penguins. We try to be timely there.
How about that? You're digging deep here, and I don't, you don't necessarily think Luc Robitaille with the Penguins, considering some of the other teams he played with, and then Sandis Ozolinsh, he came up for me because I recently wrote about the Devils Ducks game 7. He was on that Ducks team that went to that lost that game 7 of the Cup Finals. So yeah, the very very interesting choices there. But I like that you're a little nod there to obviously Erik Karlsson's former team and now his current team.
So the reason I go with the Robitaille Penguins one is because I cracked open the Kings one recently, and that was on a previous episode here. And then the Penguins one came in the mail, and I'm like, screw it. I'll have that one ready to go because the Lemieux and Yager have not been opened yet. So those are still candidates if you pick a hockey one on future episodes. So, there's the starting lineup studio audience. You want to be a part of it. And next week, we'll definitely have Mr. Cortez Kennedy as a part of it. I don't know what my daughter's done with him, but I will have to go and find him. But I think that does it for this edition of Rip N Riff here on the Better Sports Network. For Jared Moore, I'm Adam Bernard. Going to be back with you real soon, next Saturday, actually, because now we're here every Saturday. We come out at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Saturday, so look out for that next episode there. We'll be back with you soon here on Rip N Riff.